Welcome to Petzel Gallery. We're here in the Gallery District in Chelsea. In fact, on 18th Street. It's Wednesday. It's a beautiful sunny day today. And I'd like to introduce you to not only to the gallery, but also to the work of Pieter Schoolwerth, who's an artist living in New York. He's living in Brooklyn. And we're showing a sequence of 14 paintings based on a virtual reality game called The Sims. So all of these pictures were actually created during the lockdown. This is our first exhibition that we opened with in September. And you see a group of characters here that are all lifted from various different internet images, so to speak. Pieter Schoolwerth's paintings follow a certain methodology of, it's quite an elaborate process in fact. He selects certain images from the internet of various different characters within that Sims family. All of them have been altered, negotiated, printed in different ways and forms. He builds a relief first and then projects real studio assistants into that relief. So you see a lot of these shadow figures. Then he works on the inkjet canvas and paints in on top of that. So you see these very grotesque, distorted faces. This particular painting, for example, is called Shifted Sims Cow Plant Modification. So you see this cow, kind of a robot cow, that turns into a plant. What you see also is not just an inkjet, you see certain kind of parts that are inkjet printed, but then this arm is modified. It has these oil paint applications. So he likes to juxtapose the handmade artwork with something that is printed. Pieter Schoolwerth's paintings follow a certain choreography. So we go through the first two rooms, and this is kind of the crescendo. This is the largest of the exhibition spaces, and at the very end wall you see also the highlight a little bit of the exhibition, which very much focuses on the Corona crisis. So you have the Grim Reaper taking iPad photographs over there. But also this is a wonderful exhibition space where painters in particular can see their work in natural light. We have the pyramid skylight up there. It allows for an amazing experience of paintings in real life. So Pieter Schoolwerth is one of the 35 artists that my gallery represents, and we do about 10 exhibitions per year here. So we do sculptural installations, we do painting installations. We're going to have Derek Forger's show coming up here in November with a puppet show, a live puppet show with sculptural installations and paintings all at once. Most of the activities in Chelsea are coming out of the studio, so to speak, and I'm going to introduce the audience later to my Uptown gallery, where we follow a different type of methodology. Welcome now to my Uptown space. We are here on 67th Street and Madison Avenue. We have a very different setting here from what you saw earlier in Chelsea. So here we are in the townhouse setting with 2 floors that we occupy here. And it's less of a cavernous type of exhibition space as downtown. Instead, we try to provide artists here with a more intimate viewing experience. And here, for the first time with me here in New York, we show the work of Stefanie Heinze. Stefanie created 6 paintings for the Uptown exhibition that she has here. At the moment, we opened in September, so this is one of the diptychs that she created for the show. It's called Hollow Place. And you see an aubergine in the very center of the painting, and a canary bird, one lying here on his back, and on the upper left side you see one that is almost disintegrating, and the other one is hiding down below. All these paintings seem very explosive. They have an organic flow, like very unusual for a lot of painters in her generation to be able to create that kind of dynamic. And all of these paintings are also preceded by very intricate studies that we exhibit as well in the center of the space. We see here the sketch for a painting called Inner Spring, which is exhibited in the gallery here on the right side. It's a diptych, and again a diptych, same size as the ones we saw before. And here we have a mattress in the center of the composition, and all these anatomical devices or parts that are floating in this undefined space. You have a leg on the lower right, you have this penis coming out and boobs attached, but this entire composition is extremely fluid in this undefined space. It shows her skill of making these incredible fluid paintings, not unlike the work of Matta. Stefanie Heinze likes to disrupt the flow of all of her exhibitions. In her Berlin show, she installed all of her pieces via tiny strings directly from the ceiling. And in this exhibition, she has suspended a painting in the middle of the space so you can see it from both sides. This painting, titled Third Date, shows another abstracted scene from everyday life, where you have these organic body parts floating around and transforming together in this type of domestic setting, where you have perhaps a pillow-like object in the center of the composition. And then she ends the exhibition with a pair of paintings, No, and another one called Der Professor, where you see a character on the top right-hand corner with multiple noses, wearing multiple eyeglasses, viewing over these goopy starfish-like creatures. Again, another organic, very surrealist composition that also touches on the ideas of authority and intellectualism. These paintings also have a corresponding double-sided drawing like the one presented earlier that concludes the show in the office. We are now on the third floor on the Upper East Side on 67th Street. So this exhibition room was created with a different thought insofar that we present these artworks here in a more private setting. So we have a private viewing room here with artworks that we not only purchase from auctions but also from private collectors. And we also use this exhibition space here during the time of the COVID crisis, because since we cannot go to any art fairs at the moment, we present the artworks that normally would have been shipped elsewhere on this exhibition floor. At this time, I'd like to present our submission to the TEFAF online platform, a painting by Ross Bleckner. The painting is titled Invisible Heaven. It's a painting from 1993, and it's part of a larger group of paintings that he actually showed all over the world, with a dome structure, like a cathedral, that is constructed a little bit according to curvilinear perspectives. So these pictures also have a certain lineage that came after the so-called cell paintings. These diamond shapes here, he scratches into the surface, he takes paint layers off so that you have the feeling that you look into the canvas that's behind this architectural frame. You stand in front of the painting and it makes you a little bit woozy, and therefore also incredibly dynamic. These paintings, by the way, they need a lot of space around them. Because the more distance you can have to the picture, the more it unfolds in the space. As an example of a dome or cathedral painting from the same year, I would like to present you also this picture that's untitled from 1993 that follows a different logic. This one actually feels more like you have these concentric circles, and the viewer standing in front of the picture feels a little bit like looking upwards, and therefore all these little dots that he has scraped from the surface of the painting, they start pulsating and they radiate energy into the space.